right? It's important to be funny as a speaker, only if what? You want to get paid. Did you know that right now the $1 Million Speakers Group is having a dinner? Right now. And somehow they figured out on the lineup that this lineup here wasn't going to cause any absences over there? Just saying, right? But anyway, I'm always excited to come to Influence because I see people I haven't seen in a year. And I already have it on very good authority that I look good. Yeah. I do. You have told me, many of you have told me, Dave, you look good, right? You look good. I have heard it over and over again, right? And that's a compliment I didn't used to get. Now I get it a lot. And honestly, when I first heard that, I thought they were saying, Dave, you're good looking. That is not what that means. What they mean is, compared to the image I had in my head and what I expected, you are incredibly lifelike, is what they're saying. And by the way, the higher the pitch on, you look good, the worse the news is, okay? And just a side note, if somebody tells you you look great, you're a goner, okay? That's no coming back from that, right? But yeah, I realize, you know, we're all getting a little older. I see it happen, and I'm okay with it, right? I'm always been a very energetic guy in words and action, but honestly, my words have a lot more energy than my actions now. You know, I mean, I will say to my wife things like, hey, listen, I'm going to hop in the shower, throw on some clothes, jump in the car, run to the store. Yeah, none of that's happening. There's no hopping, no throwing, no jumping, no running. No. Everything is going to take place very carefully and slowly. And even when I do have a little burst of physical energy, it's more theater, right? It's more of a courtesy. I now find myself doing the old guy courtesy run, right? Maybe you've seen it. You see a guy my age. They're usually in a parking lot or a crosswalk. We notice that there's a car waiting for us to get across, and we go. Right? Have you seen that one? Ooh. And it's just theater. It's just theater, right? Let me demonstrate. Watch. Walk. Same speed. Okay, that's the same speed. And I'm trying to make some changes at this point in life, you know, and I never had a lot of bad habits. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. But I do like sweets, and I do like a good steak. And I know that there are people now my age I talk to, and they've made these changes, right? They've given up sugar, right? They've given up meat. And I'd say two things. First of all, I admire you. And second, shut up. Especially when I'm eating, right? I met a friend of mine who's a vegan, right? And we're sitting across from each other. We both went out to eat, and I had the grilled pork chops. And he had lentils and, I don't know, yard clippings, something like that. I don't know what it was. But I could feel the judgment. I could see him looking at my food, you know. And finally I said, so you don't eat any meat at all? He said, I don't eat anything that has a face. I said, oh, me either. I want that removed before it comes to the table. That's going back. He said, you mean it doesn't make you feel bad? That was a living thing, that had feelings? And I said, you know what, honestly, it does. And that really does bother me. It's something, I have cut down on my meat for that very reason. I said, but listen, I did check, and this one
was kind of an idiot.
Even the other pigs were going, oh, he had it coming. Bon appetit. But you know what, the changes that I'm making now are more for my health than for my looks. I've never been one of those guys who was very confident, had a lot of body confidence. I've never one of those guys like the men I see sometimes in a neighborhood when they go out to cut their grass and they strip their shirts off. And there are two types of men who do that. There are men who do it because, you know, they're proud of their bodies. And then there are those who really shouldn't, okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm not body shaming anyone. I am firmly in group 2. I realize that. But I always keep my shirt on when I'm out doing the yard work because I realize, even if I thought I were in good shape, I realize that after a certain age, nobody's curious about what's happening below my neck, okay? And full disclosure, the news just gets worse the farther south you go. Okay, all right, let's just set that aside. All right, set it aside. But men, here's the thing. I know that it's, certainly the world is not divided neatly into men, women. I know it's a more complicated thing. But the media and our culture has treated us in very different ways. And therefore, it has an effect on our self-image and our confidence. My wife pointed this out to me. We were in a grocery store one day, and there were all these magazines in a rack near the check stand, Woman's World and all this, aimed at her demographic. And she said, look at this. You don't have to deal with this kind of thing. Look at what's on. And it was the first time I really did notice. Every single magazine aimed at her demographic had all over the front titles of articles inside solving problems that they made up. They weren't real, right? They had things on them like what to do about muffin top. Is this a cure for cankles? Do you have pit pudge? These are not real things, okay? They're not. But I know some woman is reading that going, pit pudge, what is that? Oh, my God. Thank you. We have just never, as a man, I can tell you, I've never been subjected to that. Therefore, most men feel pretty good about what they got. Right? They do. They feel a strange confidence. You can take a man, almost any man in this room, I don't care if you are shaped like a minion. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He will step out of a shower stark naked in front of a full-length mirror, look at himself and go, not bad. But, so I'm very excited to be here. I know, hey, let the compliments flow. Be complimentary to people. I will tell you this, though. Please keep it plausible. Don't lie too big. I ran into somebody I'd gone to high school with. Hadn't seen her in 40 years. And she actually said this to me. She said, Dave, you haven't changed a bit. And I thought, oh, my God, how long have I looked like this? Why would you even think I'd want that to be true? It does explain why I couldn't get a prom date, yes. I keep imagining her talking to another classmate saying, guess who I ran into the other day? Dave Caperton. They're like, really? The kid with the gray hair, the eye bags, and the neck waddles? Yeah. How'd he look? He looked good. Thank you, that's my time. Yeah.